Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Frontline Changes Report. Before I start, there is a comment yesterday on one of the videos and they claim the person is very triggered because he has a relative that died in Iraq and Afghanistan, and my heart goes to him. And he said that no, all this joking and all this, the fun stuff is very disrespectful for the people who actually died in the front line, because every arrow that I draw means people have died. And I totally agree that there is something that I've always been saying, that people die, don't celebrate people dying. And which is, yeah, one thing on its own. But YouTube ultimately is still a place where people look for entertainment. And unfortunately, if I go on very boring, then DPA might actually go in the direction of war in Ukraine, and pretty much DPA is on the way there. So I definitely also cannot go too boring. But regardless of what it is, I totally appreciate the sentiment that there it shouldn't be too fun. Yeah, it is what it is. I will just try to balance. No, but sometimes I really need to boost the channel, because what's worse is that there is not enough views, and then there's no more revenue, and then I will stop, and then you will not see my reports anymore. So that's the flip side. So as such, we'll together do a 1 minute silence, a moment of silence for the people who have died in this war. So let's go. Thank you everyone for participating in that moment of silence for the people who have died in this Ukraine war, or the special military operation in Ukraine. And based on my estimates, is quite significant. I think Putin said around half 200,000. I cannot remember what's the number. Might have died in this war on the Russian side. Ukrainians, at least 500,000 to 1 million soldiers have died. So yeah, no, nothing matter, but they still carry on. So I got to just draw arrows and yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, we're going to start off with we're going to do the frontline changes. There is quite a number of frontline change. So there is Ibitske start this year. These are all. This one is in the advantage of the Ukrainians, and then everything else will be more pro-Russian. We have Pishani, Kanel, Porotsky, Krasnohorivka. Oops, sorry for my WhatsApp. Georgievka, as well as Novomihailivka. So we're gonna go on into the Kharkiv front. So over at the Kharkiv front, we have some invalidation due to a geolocation of Ukrainian forces just across the border in the forest hilly region. I believe this is pretty hilly. Yeah, it's very hilly around here. The Ukrainian forces geolocated here basically invalidates huge chunk of the Russian claims on the western part of Staresia. So as a result, I have mapped it in a way that the Ukrainians have captured this area here and basically invalidated everything else for the Russians over on the other side of Staresia. So this is the current situation right now. However, it still doesn't explain how we previously have fighting being reported at Ibitske. So we will just continue to monitor. Maybe the Russians have done some movements, secretly attacking Ibitske, but there is no capture of Ibitske anyway. And we also previously have fighting at Ternova. So let's see how this develops. So this is the frontline change over at the Kharkiv front. The next frontline change after this area is over at the Kupiansk front. So at the Kupiansk front, we have frontline changes over at Pischani. This geolocation of Russian forces over on this southwest of Kromalny show that the Russian forces have advanced towards Pishani in this in the westerly direction, and this resulted in we have reports from the Ukrainian Defense Ministry about the fighting over at Pishani. So the Russians are pushing in this direction towards this enemy position of the Russians. So we after the Peshani region, we have the next one is all the way to the Bakhmut front, over at this location at Kanel. So at the Kanel micro district, the Russian forces have advanced in the northern part of this area, capturing a massive part of the forest region. And of course over at the south. So this actually Bodanivka. So over at the south of Bodanivka, the Russian forces basically take up a lot of this forest region. The Ukrainian forces still have positions within the forest and are defending Kalinina. So the Russians do not have it easy, but this would help to secure the northern flank of the Russian forces as they continue to make this push into Kanel. So that is the current situation over at the Bakhmut front, over at Kanel region. So the next frontline change is over at Novoporovsky. If I'm not wrong, this is the Heorhiivka front. So at the Heorhiivka front at Novoporovsky, Russian forces geolocated in this very surprising position, because previously the Russians are only existing in these two locations in a like this finger pincer kind of thing, and then suddenly there's this geolocation right in the center. So as a result, I mapped this as the Russians taking all of these locations in the center south of Novoporovsky. So as a result, the Russian forces have advanced greatly towards Novoselivka, Persia, and I think the battle is going to start at this settlement very, very soon. The Russians will be able to enter in the next hop, the next turn, like they throw the dice in Monopoly. So that's the next turn problem. So after Novoporovsky, we have frontline change over at Krasnohorivka. So at the Battle of Krasnohorivka, Russian forces are geolocated to be storming a building over at this location of Krasnohorivka. So this, because it's just a video geolocation of them storming the building, doesn't mean they have captured it. So as a result, I'm going to just leave it as a gray zone. It's going to be like a Russian claim rather than a Russian capture. Then away south of Krasnohorivka, over at Heorhiivka, some massive changes. So previously I have talked a lot about this gray zone. This massive gray zone is very disturbing, because the Ukrainians are claiming that the front line was here and the Russians were claiming the front line was here. And this is a huge difference in terms of the front line. But surprisingly, we have Russian forces now in the latest geolocated on the western part of Heorhiivka, as well as on the eastern part of Messimilianivka, correct. I actually pronounced it correctly. Oh my god. Amazing. So I deserve an award. So anyway, in the south of Heorhiivka, the Russian forces are also geolocated. And with this geolocation, we can confirm the Russians have actually taken this much ground. The Russians basically captured this much ground. I repeat it. I don't know why I repeated it 3 times. Well, but anyway, so with this capture, the Russian forces now are starting the battle of Messimilianivka, and very interesting, very surprising change. However, the Ukrainian mapping, Deep State UA, the Ukrainian sources say that the Russians retreated. So they say that the Russian forces managed to reach Messimilianivka, but lost half of the equipment and retreated. And they say that the attack was repulsed by the 46th Brigade. And so sounds like a coup. I don't know why. I don't know. It just sounds like a coup, because in their mapping they still map entire Heorhiivka as a gray zone. So, but based on our mapping methodology, this is a Russian capture. So we will continue to monitor and see this suspicious looking shape continue to take shape. So we shall continue to monitor away from this area. I believe there's one more frontline change. So anyway, with this change, by the way, with this change, I have declared Heorhiivka as captured by the Russian forces. So no one have declared that yet. No, Ryba didn't, Deep State UA didn't, Russian Defense Ministry didn't. Only DPA. So no, I shall die on this hill. I shall die on this hill. So we moved on, and the last frontline change is just off Heorhiivka. In this area here, there is a geolocation of Russian forces getting hit by, I think, FPV drone. Yeah. Anyway, just geolocation of Russians. They didn't. So the Russians are just geolocated around here. Ukrainians were allegedly attacking the Russian forces around this position. So as a result of this engagement, we disclaimed or invalidated Ukrainian claims. So the Russians have actually taken this ground, confirmed, have taken this ground. And this is a small battle in the area of this greater area between Konstantinivka to Voleda to Heorhiivka and Solodky. So this shape is not a square. It's important to note this is not a square. I don't know what your teacher teach you, but anyway, so this is the situation around here, and that's it. I think these are all the frontline changes report. And the Russian Defense Ministry did not put a situation report, a daily one. They every Friday they put out a weekly situation report. So because it's a weekly version, I cannot use it to plot anything. So as a result, I didn't plot anything from the Russian side. So anyway, I will not do the situation report today. There's DPA open mic later. In another many hours. 1 a.m. Singapore time. Hopefully, I don't fall asleep. And so we'll be talking about a lot of important stuff. Just come over and chit chat together. It's a fun place. We just chit chat together. And also, the situation report will be tomorrow. Hopefully, I will be able to do it before I sleep after the DPA open mic, and it's going to be Father's Day tomorrow. So yeah, congratulations to all the papa, and I'll see you guys in the next update. Press the like button.